How's my lipstick?
Let me take.
Yeah, that's fine. Fine, thanks.
Stand by, everyone. Roll take, please. Rolling.
One, take one.
And action.
So, what is television? So, what is television?
Telethon, teletype, televiewer. Oh, television. It's the simultaneous visual reproduction of scenes, images, performances act.
Act?
At a distance.
What about this communal television?
That's not the communal television.
It is. It's the communal camper-downing in the
Community television. You mean you haven't watched it yet? It's the new channel on your TV set.
How do you get it?
Tune in on the UHF band. It's near SBS. Community television has something for everyone. And actually, it's your station.
What I don't like about television is that there's a bit of a monopoly on television, and it kind of a limited point of view, the way it sensationalises things.
The public should be allowed to put a great input into TV because they are the ones that are watching it.
What we're having is an imposed identity upon us, and it just doesn't fit. There's no wonder that Australia doesn't know where it's going or what it's doing, because it doesn't have input from all the people who live here.
The elitist sports get coverage and the other ones don't.
We got many community, Greeks, Turkish, Italians. It got different...
Television is something we're all very familiar with. But how often have you, or even someone you know, had a chance to really make a difference to what we watch on TV?
Going for a long time.
Community access television is about opening up the airwaves to the public, or put simply, giving the community access to the making of television.
Hello, Sydney, and what do you see? It's time to get corrupt on public TV. My name is Tony, and how do you do? Would you please welcome the inquiry crew?
Tony Fitzgerald, he's our man. He's putting us criminals in the can. We're making our money, but we're packing bricks, looking over our shoulder for Tony. Hey, Fitz.
Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun.
Good evening and welcome to this, the final edition of Media Blitz. In tonight's program, we take a look at short films. Where do they go? Programmers. Do stations really know what they're showing and at what times? And finally, we take a look at what you, the viewer, thought of this year's television.
Do you think that it'd be a good thing to have more access to TV by the general public?
Very much so, because then it's the community deciding what it is we're seeing on the TV and not a producer or a director in some office somewhere telling us what we're going to like.
Yeah, I think there should be, because it probably would give a more overall picture rather than kind of, selective views.
Yeah, I think that'd be really interesting. Me personally, I've always been fascinated by the actual industry. Yeah. So I'd love to be able to get involved.
And that's exactly what people have been doing right around Australia.
I've been doing link work for about probably 3 months. I've done everything from waitressing to running around in the street with a microphone and shoving it in people's faces. It's been great, and anybody who wants to get involved, it's worthwhile.
It all began some time ago, with the idea that in any democracy, the airwaves, and in fact all media, are there for the good of the public.
TV airwaves to the people, not just media.
Currently, people have access to, they can go and make programs on a public radio station, they can start their own newspaper or magazine. We're just asking the government to say, yes, okay, you can start your own TV, and basically, allow just a small slice of the airwaves to go to the community.
Fred keeps saying things like, What happened to the slimness I married? You used to be thin, girly.
Now, looking at the synoptic chart for today, we can see that there's these big concentric circle things have settled over the country, and gigantic versions of the word high and low will be floating around in the upper atmosphere.
I just wanna lose. I just lost for the last time.
By doing small test transmissions over the years, it's become obvious that there are thousands of entertaining and informative programs waiting to be made. It's just a matter of making it easy for people to turn their great ideas into community television.
Turning now to the satellite photo. Very funny.
The most significant event in human history has not been the landing of technology or satellites on other planetary bodies. To me, the significant human event has been the landing of technology on the body itself.
Hello, I'm Mia and welcome to Romancing Your Stars. In Cancer, you are very sensitive and hurt so easily. Don't dwell on your past problems so much or you'll miss out on the pleasures of the present. Remember, if you take every day
Great. Well, poofters and weirdos making weird and poofy programs.
Good effort by the Keilor Heights player to keep the ball in play then, but...
Kerry Smith, very experienced bowler. Played for Northcote for a number of years. Also played for Essendon and represented Victoria on a couple of occasions. Smith comes in and bowls. Outside off stump, Luckman drives into the covers.
Travelling is 1.5 rotations of the wheel, and you may notice the yellow mark on the wheelchair wheels, and that's to indicate to the umpires if they have travelled more than 1.5
I reckon that was a travel.
rotations. And a nice pass in there to Daniel Detoro.
This is our top-end mob, dancing at Barunga Sports and Culture Festival. Maintaining culture and tradition through dance.
Community television's not here to tell people what to make. You see, it's all about creating a way for people to make the sorts of things that interest them and the audience they want to speak to.
Where are the studies that are showing what the long-term health effects on the children and the old in this area is? Okay, Chair Superintendent.
Good evening and welcome to Newsline, RMI TV's weekly news and current affairs program.
They're friendly, aren't they? So this green stuff we've got over here is salt marsh, which is normally found in the temperate parts of the world. And then behind it you get mangroves, and mangroves are normally found in the tropics. But the interesting thing about Western Port is the only place in the world where you get salt marshes next to mangrove.
So people make all sorts of programs when they get a chance. The question is, what do you want to see on community TV?
There's so many lovely things they could do for children. And I basically like to hear people interviewed.
I mean, I'm not sure what you have on community television at the moment, but programs that target minorities, I think, and also music programs.
What the community itself is doing around, say, the areas that you live in, what the community is up to, what are the councils doing. And
there's not enough local content in television at the moment. I think any amount of local content would be an improvement.
None of this beautiful people stuff, realistic.
Hi, I'm Helen. I'm a Richmond resident and I've just come for a swim, me and my camera crew, and we just wanted to know, Norm, where has the water gone?
Well, hello, Helen. I'm afraid we can't help you. The water is gone, as you can see. We're in the process of redeveloping the centre now, and there's major demolition works going on at this time.
as we can see.
In late September of '92, 80 children, friends and Piermont residents converged on what was once a derelict piece of land in a community-driven effort to create not only a beautiful park, but a symbol of community pride and togetherness.
Our video archives are growing by the day. And besides the programs that get made for community television, there are hours of TV that either the other stations aren't interested in or can't get their hands on. We also share programs with a growing number of community stations from around Australia. So we'll bring you the very best of CTV from across the country. And if that isn't enough, we'll bring you the very, very best from other parts of the world where they've had permanent community TV for years. But I know what you've been thinking. How do you pay for it all? And it's funny you should ask, because our financial analysts have been going over the figures. They're still busy. But they would have told you that there are a number of ways to keep the station healthy, because television airtime is a big asset for the community to own. Every hour we can play up to 4 minutes of sponsorship announcements. So by putting aside a little airtime for those with the money, we can provide access for those who couldn't get on air any other way. We can also sell airtime to government institutions, such as educational bodies.
No, I just don't get it.
Oh, Leo, you've got it round the wrong way, see?
What?
But of course, we can't get by without support from the community. And just like community radio, we depend on our members and subscribers to keep us on the air. Actually, in more ways than one, because our members and subscribers often become the volunteers who make the whole thing happen. Speaking of which, here comes a potential subscriber now.
Hey, you! Oi! You with the dog form in your hand!
I'm so depressed. Nothing to do. I just lie around all day and watch TV.
Well, your brains are going to turn to mush if you keep that up. Get involved. Do something. Hey, you!
Look, you don't have to be Fretchka Pepsi. Everyone's got to start somewhere. You could
join a local production group, learn a new skill. Scene 12.
Today we're finding out about the local wildlife. It's breeding season for a lot of those things at the moment, and here's one of the birds.
A community TV station depends on all sorts of people out there making their own productions.
Sam is rock hard. If a child was to fall from the tree,
they might concentrate on a particular part of town.
A leg on this part.
Or specialise in offering access to a particular group of people. So there's sure to be one for you. And when you get involved in Community Access TV, you don't just get to make television, you can also have a say in running the station and how the airtime should be shared for everyone.
Scar TV.
This is the Everyone in Show.
Most of the people in the show have difficulties in speaking or learning, but that doesn't stop them from doing things they want to do.
This is Bill. He's a Preps +1 student.
The more people involved, the better. It's all about the community deciding what it wants to say and what the station should be, because ordinary television just can't do it.
So, I don't know whether we can comment on that.
We know what the other channels do, but what community television does from now on, it's up to you. You can get involved if you want to, and if not, simply enjoy the programs that appeal to you. Community TV is a channel for the people. It's a station no one really owns, but anyone can be a part of. So if you're ever left wondering what community television is, it's simple. It's yours.
And cut. Great. Look, if that checks, we've got a wrap, everyone. Thank you very much. Thanks,
Thanks.
See you later. Thanks, Mike. Great.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the moment you've all been waiting for. Starring your favorite couple and mine.
I'm Lottie, and my name is Leo. And welcome to the Lottie and Leo Show!
Leo, do you want to sing this community TV song? Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Everybody, come on down. Community TV is in your street. Town, it's a town, not just a street town. It's the newest station around. You really love the sound of community TV, community TV, community TV. What do you see on community TV?
I stood on my foot.
What?